Hello, my name is Ted Jojola. I'm director of the Indigenous Design and Planning Institute here at the School of Architecture and Planning, University of New Mexico. I'm from the Pueblo of Isleta. I'm also a distinguished and Regents professor here at the University of New Mexico. So we were contacted by WPI about the possibility of collaborating on projects that we've been working on. And we immediately identified a particular project that we've begun with the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center on putting together a show on contemporary Pueblo architecture. This project has been in the works for a while, but we really never have been able to translate it into an actual exhibit design. So the WPI students that we worked with, in a sense, began to put together some elements about what this exhibit might be comprised of, and in particular the assignment that we gave them was for them to look at how it is that we could use digital interpretations of the exhibit, looking at the more kind of high-tech types of applications that essentially would drive the exhibit programming for the exhibit. It turned out to be really informative. The students went, we feel, up and beyond what it is that we originally assigned them to, because they also took the initiative in order to see how it is that not only could they identify technologies that are being used, but also began to interview both those that had created the exhibits, but as well as those that were the consumers of the exhibit. And they did surveys, they did interviews, and they provided us essentially with a summary of those. And at the end of the project, actually made some recommendations on how it is that we could think about the kind of the advantages and the disadvantages of being able to use this kind of technology. So as a result of some of the activity which the students were able to present to us, we've gone on, and there's in particular one aspect of this that has been absolutely amazing. While the students were here, we began to work cooperatively with Navajo Technical University in order to begin to put some LiDAR scanning examples together, and we were able to complete one while they were there. It dealt with the historic mission at the Pueblo of Zuni, and we actually just presented that to the tribal council about a month ago, and it was the first time that we've actually seen this application, and it was absolutely stunning. It essentially was able to render this historic church from various perspectives, all the way from the outside to the inside. Its application will go beyond the exhibit. That was its original intent, but the reason why the tribe actually agreed for us to do this photographing of a very culturally sensitive building is because they were also looking at its applications with regards to historic preservation. So that of itself has proved an enormous leap in terms of building our own capacity and understanding about how these kinds of technologies can be used, and we're looking forward now to translating that into the exhibit programming. So of course, one of the great outcomes of being able to work with young individuals like this is they've got boundless energy. And after we debriefed with them about their own experience, and in particular our ability to really help them to facilitate and make the contacts that they needed, as well as transport them to some of the areas that were as far as 2 or 3 hours by car outside of Albuquerque, I think that it really influenced and impacted their own learning about not only community, but how these kinds of technologies can really begin to tell the experience and the context, and also lend voice to the community. So I know that several of them have categorically said that when the exhibit is actually mounted and we finally have this going, and the time frame for this is 2020, that they want to come back out and actually be here as part of the grand opening for the exhibit. So they're excited, we're excited, we're really grateful for having them kind of push us into the next level of thinking about this exhibit.